Hello, my name is Kevin Veen, and I was a stage manager for a production of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. My approach. When I approach stage management, I try not to look at it as a whole picture. Every time I do, I get scared and try to back out. However, when I look at it as an accumulation of days, people, and the talents of everyone working on the production, I realize that it is a much easier job than it sounds. If I put my dedication to the production, I know it'll always turn out to be a great show. I wish to participate in this year's KCACTF because I feel it is a great learning experience as well as a way to show my dedication to the craft of stage management. While it has been a tough year to find theater work, I still have hope that I can become a successful stage manager and put on production after production and help the art of theater continue and inspire future generations. To the right is a picture of my call script, the first page, in fact. I have a key in the top left corner to distinguish abbreviations. We had a very elaborate entrance when before the performance even began, while the house was still open. We had actors enter and make some noises, give ambiance to the room. For our production, we used projections marked as video. The script was typed and edited by the director, including highlights, prop notations at the bottom, musical tones for actors to play, and sound notations highlighted in yellow. I wanted to point out that the timing for light cue 13 and sound 5 were a very important timing issue that I will talk about later. You may be noticing that I don't have any blocking on this page. That's because I decided to use charts instead. I used a program called StageRight and created blocking in real time with rehearsals. Our director was one that would often change blocking through rehearsals and even tech rehearsals, so I had to be able to adapt. Each chart is given a number based on the scene and in order of others. Chart 1.1 is the first chart of the first scene, so on and so forth. This way, it clearly states where and when on stage actors need to move and gives clear staging for lighting. This is my tech rehearsal schedule, the first page of it. I color coded for different departments. It shows when and where people are needed clearly and fast for department heads. This was the only schedule I used and had because our director believed in not having set rehearsal schedules. So for rehearsal schedules, we had a more simple way of calling people where I would email them and tell them if they didn't get an email or I haven't responded to them by the end of the day, they're definitely called. This went through many versions and changes need to be made. So this was probably version 6, I believe. This is a picture of my checklist. During the run of the performance, we used delicate instruments that need to be checked after use. So we have check instruments in intermission checklists and the post-show checklist. I gave this to my assistant stage managers who would tell me via headset when an item was checked so that I made sure while I was in the booth taking care of things, these were all taken care of. This is the first item that I have in my prompt book to make sure when it's opened, it's the first thing I see, it's the first thing that gets done. Here's a picture of my rehearsal report. The little blacked out part is my school name. As you can see, I used scheduling to make sure that everything was accounted for. It shows the next rehearsal location and who was called. The personnel present would be any department heads, directors, stage management crew, anyone who was really a crew member who was at the rehearsal. This is my tech rehearsal sign-in sheet. This would be set at my stage management table so I could see people sign in, ask them how they're doing, and make sure no one was signing in for anyone else. I wrote down times of arrivals to make sure when cast and crew finally arrived, it'd be marked down in the rehearsal report. I let people be a little creative when they're signing in. As you can see for a couple of the names, they didn't just put their initials. This way I can let them have a little bit of creativity while also kind of seeing how people are doing during the day. Here's a few contact forms for both actors and crew, blacked out important personal information. I like to use colors to kind of like make things pop. Here's some photos from the show. You can see the brilliant lighting, costume design that we use. In the bottom left, you can see that we use some face paint to give some characters distinguishments. In my closing slide. Working this production has had its fair share of challenges, as any production does. The biggest challenge that I had to overcome was a very specific sound and light cue that had to happen with a sudden strike from a staff to the ground, which would cause lightning. This challenge took me a while to get right during tech, as I wanted to get the sound and lights perfect for this explosive moment. I worked very hard with my crew and the actor who had the motion to come up with a time system. She would rise the staff slowly and count one Mississippi, which I would also count. As soon as we both finished saying it, I called it, and it was like magic. The thunderous noise with the natural boom of the staff mixed with the excellent lighting made me think about how this is a job I want to do, hopefully for the rest of my life. Stage management is a problem solving at its core. It is making sure that a performance goes well and quickly and elegantly dealing with issues that may arise even while the show is going on sometimes. What I look forward to most with my future career is seeing new problems and coming up with solutions to fix the issues. Knowledge and wisdom to pass on are what I am after, and this is a perfect career for it.